If someone told you that one small act of kindness could change the direction of your entire life, would you believe it? This story begins on a cold Saturday morning with a single dad named Mark, his 6-year-old daughter Emma, and a broken-down car that brought two strangers together in the most unexpected way. But what happened after Mark opened that car hood is something that still makes people believe in destiny, second chances, and the magic hidden in simple kindness. Before we start, if you love heart-touching stories that restore faith in humanity, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Your channel name. Your support helps us share more inspiring stories. Mark Johnson was a 33-year-old single dad living in a small town in Ohio. Life had not gone easy on him. He worked full-time as a mechanic at a local garage, and in the evenings he picked up extra jobs to make sure his daughter Emma never felt the absence of a mother. Emma's mom had left when she was just a baby, deciding motherhood wasn't the life she wanted. So Mark learned to play both roles, her hero, her comfort, her family. He didn't have much money, but what he did have was a big heart, a warm smile, and a little girl who thought her dad hung the moon. That Saturday morning, the garage was slow. Snow covered the sidewalks. Most people stayed home. Mark was about to close early so he could take Emma for hot chocolate, their little weekend tradition. Emma stood near the window, wearing a pink knitted hat with two fluffy pom-poms, humming a Christmas tune, though December was still weeks away. Just as Mark flipped the sign to closed, an old silver minivan sputtered into the lot, coughing like it was taking its last breath. Behind the wheel was a woman in her early 30s, looking exhausted and overwhelmed. Her name was Sarah. Mark saw the panic in her eyes as the engine died. She pressed her forehead to the steering wheel in defeat. Unaware that Mark was watching, he stepped outside, tapped on the window, and asked gently, "Rough day?" She managed a tired, embarrassed smile. "More like a rough month." "I'm sorry. Are you closed?" "My car just stopped working. I don't know what to do." Mark looked back at Emma, who was watching closely, then turned to Sarah. "Don't worry. I'll take a look." Sarah introduced herself as a single mom. Her 8-year-old son was sitting quietly in the back seat, wrapped in a blanket, holding a teddy bear. His name was Noah. He gave a shy wave to Emma through the window, and she waved back excitedly. As soon as Mark opened the hood, he knew what was wrong: a worn-out serpentine belt and a nearly dead battery. He sighed. These repairs weren't cheap. Sarah bit her lip. "Please, I don't have much money right now. Can you just tell me what's wrong so I can figure it out later?" Mark looked at her. Really looked. She had that tired look people get when life doesn't stop hitting them, the kind that Mark recognized from his own reflection years ago when he was juggling diapers and double shifts after being abandoned by the person he thought would stay forever. "Sit tight. I'll fix it." Her eyes widened. "Please, I can't afford—" "It's okay. I've been where you are." While Mark worked on the car, Emma approached Noah. Kids don't ask about income, divorce, or pain. They just talk. And within minutes, they were laughing, sharing crayons, and playing I Spy in the waiting area. Meanwhile, Sarah stood by quietly, hugging her coat around her. She watched the way Mark spoke gently to Emma, the way he explained every step of what he was doing, and how his hands moved quickly with confidence and care. There was warmth in that small garage, something she hadn't felt in a long time. An hour later, Mark wiped his hands and closed the hood. All fixed. Sarah blinked in disbelief. "How much do I owe you?" Mark shook his head. "Nothing. Just promise me you'll take your son somewhere warm and fun this weekend. He deserves a break." Sarah's voice cracked. "I don't know how to thank you." "Just pay us forward someday," he said. "Kindness grows when it's shared." Noah suddenly ran up to Mark and wrapped his arms around him. "Thank you, sir." That small hug hit Mark harder than he expected. Kids had a way of seeing the truth. Sarah left with a grateful heart. thinking it was just a kind man helping her on a bad day. What she didn't know was that her son wasn't the only one who noticed Mark's kindness. 3 days later, as Mark and Emma were eating cereal and preparing for school, there was a knock at the door. When Mark opened it, he saw Sarah and Noah standing there, holding a box of freshly baked muffins. "We wanted to thank you properly," Sarah said with a shy smile. "We baked these for you." Mark invited them in, the kids ran to play, and for the first time in a long time, Mark shared a cup of coffee with another adult. Not as a mechanic, not as someone tired from life, but as a normal person enjoying company. Over the next few weeks, their paths kept crossing. The kids became inseparable, and soon, weekend playdates turned into shared dinners, pumpkin patch trips, and movie nights. They didn't plan it. It just felt natural, like life was nudging them together. But the most surprising moment came one evening in December. Mark was putting toys away after the kids finished building a fort in the living room when he overheard a soft voice behind the couch. It was Emma whispering to Noah. "She's my mom. Please marry her," Emma whispered, her voice filled with hope. Mark froze. Emma had never said anything like that before. Not once, not ever. She didn't remember her biological mother. In her little world, the idea of mom was something she saw on TV or at school pickup lines, but she had grown close to Sarah, close enough to feel love. Noah whispered back, "My mom likes your dad a lot. Maybe they will." Mark's heart ached. He didn't know whether to smile or cry. He wanted Emma to have a mother's love, but fear crept in too. What if things didn't work out? He didn't want his daughter's heart broken. That night, after Sarah and Noah went home, Mark tucked Emma into bed. "Sweetheart," he said gently, brushing her hair back, "why did you say that?" Emma looked up with innocent eyes. "Because she hugs me warm, she listens to me, she cares about you, she feels like family." Mark kissed her forehead and whispered, "Family comes from love, not from wishing. But I'm glad you feel safe with her." As Emma fell asleep, Mark sat in the dim room, his heart battling hope and fear. Having someone leave once makes it hard to trust again. A week later, it was Christmas Eve. Sarah invited Mark and Emma to join them for dinner. Snow fell outside as holiday lights flickered around her cozy living room. They laughed, played games, and exchanged small homemade gifts, because expensive ones weren't necessary. The warmth in that room felt like something all four of them had been missing. When the kids were busy building a gingerbread house, Sarah pulled Mark aside. "I need to tell you something," she said nervously. Mark braced. "That day at your garage, I was driving to an interview for a second job. I thought if I failed, I wouldn't be able to pay rent for another month. I was scared. And then you helped me, without asking for anything. It showed me that good people still exist. I just wanted you to know how much it meant." Mark exhaled. "You don't owe me anything. I'm glad life feels a little lighter for you." Sarah smiled. "It feels lighter because of you." They held each other's gaze for a moment that felt longer than a heartbeat. Just then, Emma and Noah ran over, tugging them toward the Christmas tree for a photo. Mark and Sarah knelt beside them as the kids leaned in close, and as the camera timer blinked, Emma whispered, not softly this time, but loud enough for both adults to hear, "Please marry her, Daddy. She's perfect for us." Everyone laughed, even Sarah, her cheeks turning rosy red. Mark put an arm around Emma and replied, "One day at a time, sweetheart." But something shifted that night. The fear that had chained Mark's heart for years finally loosened. He realized love doesn't always hurt the second time around. Sometimes it heals. Weeks turned into months. The bond between their families only grew stronger. They supported one another, celebrated small wins, and found happiness in moments that didn't cost a thing. And one sunny afternoon, at the same garage where it all began, Mark got down on one knee, not with flashy lights or crowds, but with grease on his shirt, a small ring, and his heart wide open. Sarah cried. The kids jumped, and yes, she said yes. Life has a way of bringing the right people to us when we least expect it. One act of kindness, fixing a car for free, created a chain reaction that built a family. Kindness costs nothing, yet it can mean everything to someone who needs it at the right moment. And sometimes it gives back in ways we never imagined.